me what's happened.
Hello. Wow, that was quite something. Right, so Sussex Saxons kicked off, and then the ball got turned over by the visitors. It was after 4 attempts to run out, 40 from the 20-yard line in the Solent half, and now it's a long throw, and it's a three. Oh, it's just in front of number 3 on the wide receiver, and that was really an opportunity for Sussex Saxons there.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately been a very slow start for the Solent Redhawks. Received the ball and then went 3 and out on running plays. I think they gained a yard in total on the 3 attempts before having to punt. I think their game plan's been affected by just huge winds, which makes throwing the ball against them almost impossible. So they had to punt. The punt was fumbled, but the referees ruled it hadn't been caught, and so the Sussex retained the ball. They, on their first play, decided to go for a run, but then was stopped for a loss, in fact. But unfortunately, as a foul for unnecessary roughness on the Solent Redhawks defence, which in the end saw them get a 10-yard penalty and a first down. And so we're now just outside, the 30, the Solent 30 yards. I think they're on 3rd down now, with another 10 to go. Almost scoring a touchdown, in fact, but I think the wind actually took the pass just outside of the receiver's hands. It snuck in between the cornerback and safety, and would have had a free run into the end zone, but unfortunately the wind came back to bite. This time the pass is wildly overthrown towards the number 12 receiver. Almost intercepted, in fact. It was closer to being intercepted, but it's now a 4th down. The wind is in Sussex's favour, which is a huge factor. They can go for longer field goals, longer passes, knowing that the wind might help take that ball that extra distance. They're going to go for it. The Solent defence ready, looking up in man defence. It's launched and just off the fingertips of the number 3 receiver. It found so much space, despite having 2 men on him. They just gave him too much space in the backfield, and you can't do that.
I'd agree, Josh. It's such a quick tempo to this game so far. 2 turnovers, 1 apiece for each side, and the conditions here are really blustery, and it's going to make it extremely hard for the quarterbacks to try and find their men. We know Sussex Saxons like to run on the punt. They ran 4 out of 9 times last time against Surrey. So it's a tactic they like to use, and I'm surprised that they didn't try it then with being in 10 yards away. It's now 1st down for the Solent Redhawks.
That was a nice gain there by Solent. It would look like for certain, for no gain whatsoever, he managed to bounce back and redirect himself down straight through the centre of the huddle of players who are on both teams, and managed to turn what's going to look like a wasted play into a nice 5-6 yard gain. 2nd and 5, just above the 40 yard line for Solent. Another running play. I'd be surprised if it don't go back in the SAD. If they go for the toss to the outside, and he gets the 1st down, and before being forced out of bounds, just before the 50 yard line. That's a very strong run for Solent, and it's looking like they can establish that game early and make slow but steady progress.
Great run by Samuel Adesanya, getting the 1st down, just a couple yards shy of the halfway line. Really good plays there by the home team, really trying to turn the screw and get their noses ahead after an impressive win last week against Oxford Brookes. It's something they need to grow on, and with only a limited amount of games that they have. Oh, it's intercepted, and it's a big huddle there, but that was a wasted opportunity for Solent there, especially on the 1st down. The quarterback is going to be kicking himself there.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'd be surprised if they went for a passing play. They decided to ignore me, went for a passing play, and I don't know whether the pass was tipped. I couldn't quite see from here, or whether it was just an unfortunate letting go of the ball. But in the end, it was picked off by Oscar Zambrowski for Sussex. And unfortunately, having got the first scrimmage yards, first down of the game, Solent just give the ball right back in just ahead of their own 30, and the quarterback goes on a scramble, gets 5 yards. Little bit of a late hit, but early enough for no fouls or flags should be on the play. But Solent really not struggling against this wind. They are against the wind, which is impacting their game hugely. But their defence has so far had a turnover on down, so they can take confidence on the fact they know they can turn this around. And they're lining up again in what looks like a man defence. They haven't got much yards behind them to spread out. It's a running play to the right again, cuts inside, finds some space, bursts through, and number 12 is just Zach Alvarez. Again, finds that space, bursts through, and he's quite a small player, but it worked to his advantage there. People couldn't get a grip onto him, and a large gain for Sussex there.
It was almost like a rugby pass from the back of the play, but yeah, great yards there by number 12 from Sussex, getting the first down and going to really put Solent under the pressure here as the minutes turn are really ticking down in the first quarter here.
What we've seen so far is, despite a turnover and down, the Sussex offensive line is doing really well at holding their blocks. Whether it's a running play or a passing play, they've given their quarterback time to throw the ball. They've given the running back the blocks he needs to find the space and create the gaps. A flag has been thrown on the play. Not entirely sure why. Could have been for a false start. The referees seem to have a little confusion themselves over what the flag was thrown for. It was for offsides, defence, 55. Not what you want to have if you're on a Solent defence. You keep giving it. That's the second penalty so far, and it's still in the first quarter. They've got to sort this out.
Yeah, just a couple of sloppy plays there, obviously from the pass from the quarterback, and then the last several plays as well, just giving Sussex Saxons a bit of an advantage gain there. But it's something that I really need to tighten up on and really cut out of their game, because against the conditions, you just cannot be doing that.
And that was a thunderous hit there. I think it was number 49 from Solent. Absolutely ran straight into a brick wall. Sorry. Did the Sussex running back. Again, that's the plays you need if you're on Solent right now. We've had a little bit of unluckiness with the fouls. But this is what they need to make sure that they don't keep giving away these fouls, and when the run does come at them, because it looks like it's going to be a very run-heavy game so far, they can stand up to it. But they force the quarterback to scramble this time. He throws it up, and it's out the back of the end zone, incomplete. That's the first time, though, that Solent had actually forced the Sussex quarterback to scramble. The fact that if he had stayed in the pocket, he almost definitely would have got sacked there. There seems to be some issue with some point. I'm currently unsure what. I think there's a medical issue, and the paramedic has just been called over. Number 3, unfortunately, is down. You might be able to see over at the far side of the field. The paramedic's been called over as he makes his way across the field. Fingers crossed it's nothing serious, and we hope all the best for him. As I say, there's been a few big hits so far in this game, a few winded players, and I'm gonna be honest, with the wind blowing as it is, they're struggling for breath enough as it is. When you get a big hit to the stomach, I wouldn't be surprised at all when you lose your breath. So we do have an injury time out here in the first quarter, but it gives Solent the time to adjust, to make substitutions if they need to. Number 3's been taken off the field. again, you know, we send our best wishes to the series at all, and we'll hopefully see him back later in the game. But we return back to reaction. It's 3rd down. I only have a few yards to get the first. They're camped out just outside the 10. They're in the red zone. So they're going to be looking for a touchdown and give it to Kazidi Tshishi Mpinga. Gets a couple of yards. I'm not sure if he does get the first. I think he does. So it's 1st and goal. Roughly, I think around the 5-yard line. Actually, it might be slightly closer to the 10, but it's a fantastic opportunity for Sussex to get in the end zone here. Their running game is finding those little inroads, which, and if you find enough of them, as any NFL coach will tell you, it can give you the win. Again, it cuts inside, cuts outside, goes to the right, and then just disappears into a mass of men over there. Again, good defense there, solid from the Solent.
Yeah, number 0 for Sussex is causing a real problem out of the back of the play there. You know, he's twisting, he's turning, he's waltzing us through the Solent defence, and he's really causing a problem for the home team.
And that's what you want to see from your star running backs, is when there's a play, you know, whether it's a dive, whether it's a toss, whether it's a stretch, when that struggles and when you run into a brick, almost what seemed like a brick wall, if they can rebound and turn that. Flags are now thrown on the play when it's 2nd down. Yeah, pretty instantly from the snap. And there's an offside call on offense this time, number 55. For Sussex, I mean, you know, we lose 5 yards there on the play. So now it's 2nd and long. Again, still trying to find that go-ahead touchdown. The first, what would be the first score of a game. The wind's died down a little, perhaps, giving them food for thought as to whether to go for a passing play here. They have 2 wideouts currently, with 2 in the backfield. They do go for the touchdown pass, and tipped away from the hands by number 42, I believe. I think he got his fingertips to tip that away, and if he didn't, he did enough to pressure the wide receiver into just not being able to reach it. Good defensive play. It was needed, because if I was caught, that was a touchdown. He was in the end zone. He was wide open after that point. So Solent hanging on here. We got the penalty. They've got the incompletion. Just need 2 more stops, or they might even have to settle for conceding a field goal, but 3 points are a hell of a lot better than 7 when you're conceding them. Going back to the running play, absolutely swatted by the Solent defence there. No room whatsoever. I think 3 of them jumped on him at the line of scrimmage. The Solent defence are going for it, and they're coming out, I believe this is the first special teams unit, they are going for the field goal. You would expect him to have the distance at the very least here. The wind would take it another 10 yards at least, but the accuracy is where the issue is going to be. That wind is going from left to right, just constantly buffeting around. So that ball snaps down. The kick is good. And Sussex take a 3-0 lead in the first. And a field goal from just outside the 10, about the 15-yard line. So it makes it 3-0 to Sussex early in the first.
Yeah, it's got to be deserved after the sloppy couple plays from Solent, and then Sussex really trying to turn the screws with those running plays. I think it's the least that they deserve. They've dominated so far, and Sussex got Solent have a bit of an uphill battle to try and get back into this, but there's still plenty of time, only the first quarter out of 4, and the home team still have the belief that they can try and get on and win this game.
Yeah, remember it's the first quarter, it's the start of the game, and the teams will swap side. So even though Sussex are benefiting very much from the wind right now, Solent will be able to say the same thing soon enough, and who knows what that will change. But confidence will be taken from the fact that they stopped them from inside their own 10. They stopped the touchdown and had to force a field goal. It's time Sussex will kick us off again.
Stream says it ended 28 minutes ago.
I thought apparently we were having some more technical issues. We will double check that. But please hang on whilst we do check that. You said the stream ended 28 minutes ago. Is it the same stream? Back to the game, back to the action. The return didn't go very far at all. They're on the around 25-yard line, maybe just 24. So they've got a lot of field to work with, but they've also got to win against them. I know I'm saying that a lot, but I cannot stress enough just how windy it is. And there's a reason they've gone back to Adesanya on the running game. He's still going. He's broken 3 tackles before being forced out of bounds over on the far side. It looked like the play had been over 3 times, but he just refused to go down. There's a reason he was named Defensive MVP last week, and he's showing it again here. He's backing his credentials. So again, Solent turning what seemed to be a play that wouldn't result in much into a large gain. So second down now. Solent again spreading, coming out on the offense. We've got 3 receiving core out there with a tight end. Someone in the slot as well, looking for the passing play. Finds number 22, gets to completion for the first down. Big passing play there from Ben Lester. Fantastic play there. There was on the in route from the near side here. Found a space in between the linebacker and the cornerback. Made the completion. Got swallowed up pretty quickly afterwards, but Solent won't mind. They got the first, and that's what they were looking for. Solent timed that really well. There was as we hit towards the end of the first quarter. It's 3-0 to Sussex. But Solent got lucky there. They made the passing play they needed. When the wind wasn't blowing, they found that lull and they made it count. And now, as I say, the side of play has switched due to a change of quarter now. This means now, having just completed their first significant passing play of the game, Solent have the opportunity to work with the wind. They can go for more passing plays, knowing they won't be throwing it into what would seem like a very resistant atmosphere. So again, Adesanya in the backfield. That's looking out. 4 receivers for him to aim for. Another passing play. Pressure coming in for Leicester. And he goes down at the line of scrimmage. Flag thrown on the play though. Just waiting on the referees to say why the flag was thrown. Unfortunately, from our angle, we do tend to have a large crowd in between us and the action. There's a holding call on number 77 for Solent. That's Jesse Oldroyd, unfortunately, being called of holding. Which means that's at least 10 yards there, Solent. Sorry, I did that right. Sorry, 5 yards they lose on that call. And that's, from what's seen, it's a long way to go actually. Looking at that, it's a good 16 or so yards. They go back to the passing play, throws it up. Number 11 gets the connection. Unfortunately, the Solent bench not very happy with Tom Mudra's decision to start running backwards after catching the ball, but he gets Solent back to the line of scrimmage. Oh, the penalty has been wiped out there with that completion, and so slowly the passing game is starting to knit together. So Solent in the huddle. Sussex struggling with the pass. Receivers, they're going to have some adaptation to that. It goes to Adesanya. Some great blocks. He cuts to the left, cuts back to the right before being basically charged down by the Sussex linebackers, and then goes down just inside, just outside the 40-yard line. They've got another 9 yards to go for the first if they do get it. Again, Adesanya doing well, turning plays into what seemed like what would be a tackle for loss into minimal gains. And again, Solent come out in the shotgun formation. Leicester waiting for the ball. Offsides there. Really false start by number 22. As Ollie Price there, the wide receiver on this near side, went so early. So that's another penalty for Solent. It's their fourth of the game so far in the right at the start of the second quarter. I think that's just miscommunication, if I'm honest, between the quarterback and the wide receiver. But Solent go again. That was a 5-yard loss for the penalty. This time it seemed everyone was there. There was a loose ball there, not really sure what the play was. I think it was supposed to be a lateral. Received the ball from Leicester there. But yeah, very dangerous throw. It could have been seen as a fumble by the referees. Solent got lucky and managed to escape. So Solent gearing up for the punt. Much bigger punt than they're attempting in the first half. Good reception by number 42 of Sussex, but swallowed up. Barely any yards in the return. Solent rushed towards, and again it gives them down about just inside the 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line shot, I should say, for Sussex. And gives Solent time and space to work their magic on defence. They've shown they can stand up to the fight on defence, and you'd hope they're going to do it again. Bit of confusion and a lot of milling about. There's a foul on the offence there, I believe, for Solent. Is declined by Sussex, so they get the ball on about the 38-yard line, and out come their offence. Solent lining up in a 4-man rush. Sorry, in a 4-3 defence system. Yeah, jeering. You might be able to hear the jeering from the Solent bench. Wide receiver gets the ball and gets nowhere. I think it might have lost a yard there on that play. I believe that was Ez Al Rashidi. Does not go to plan at all. Again, Solent are preparing for the rush. They have 4 men in that defensive line. They are waiting for it, and again, oh, it's a fumble! It's a fumble, and it's recovered by Solent. See, the referees are just sorting through the pile to try and find the ball. 21, Nick Williams, who helped secure the fumble there, but a very, very well-earned turnover there. Fumble recovery by the Solent defence. They're 3-0 down. They've got great field position here, just inside the Sussex 35. Fresh set of downs, great field possession. You would hope at the very least they could tie the game up here. Looks like man defence there from the Sussex defence, and it worked. They had to go. Solent went to the run. Samuel Adesanya got, I think, about a yard or two there on the rush. Yeah, but even if it doesn't get them the first down, it means the kicker does have a slightly easier task, if that's what they elect to go for in the end. So in pistol formation, 2 in the backfield. Oh, it's broken one tackle there before getting absolutely swallowed up by the second Sussex defender who had found the gap and plugged it up. So no gain there on the play from Solent, another running play. That makes it 3rd down, 3rd and long. The ball, again, just outside the 30-yard line. Time slowly ticking towards half-time here. Pistol formation for Solent. It's a play action. Oh! Leicester had Alexander Bruce in the up the seam and wide open. Somehow found a gap in his own defence, but couldn't make the connection. It was very close to Sussex fell for the play action pass. Thought it was a run, rushed it, realised too late it was a pass. Unfortunately, again, could be the win, just took it out of the fingertips of Alex Bruce. But on 4th down, they're going to go for it. Solent. Gutsy call here to try and level it up. They go a toss to Samuel Adesanya. He fights for yards, We're not sure whether he gets it or not. I believe it's a 1st down. It is. He got the first. Fantastic run there by Adesanya. Really fighting, even when I think he was falling backwards, but just would refuse to go down until he had crossed that line, and by a matter of inches managed to make sure he got the first. It's a fresh set of downs just inside the 20-yard line in the red zone. They're going to hand it back to him, and he's got a gap. He's got a big gap, all before being wiped out from the side by Gabriel Benoit-Gunwin. But a good gain there by Adesanya yet again. And you might have heard about some of the Solent players apologising there for some rough language. I'll extend that same apologies to those watching. But more importantly, on the field, Solent in a good position. In the red zone, having just had two good running plays by Adesanya. The confidence is starting to flow a little bit. Referees in conversation here. 100% why there's a slight delay. Seems a flag was thrown on the play. Oh, and the ball is coming right back. That's a big loss of yards. And Adesanya's been told to get off the field. So I'm sorry, there's been an ejection in the game. It seems I think Adesanya's been told he's not allowed to play anymore. There was a 10-yard penalty for I think it was head-to-head contact. I will confess, I'm not 100% sure what has just happened there, but the end result has been a 10-yard penalty for Solent, and Adesanya is not on the pitch. It's a huge blow to Solent. He's been running the game for them, quite literally, I suppose. And now they're going to have to adapt. I'm not quite sure how you adapt to having one of your best performing players taken out of the game in the first half, but that's what they're going to have to do. So Solent back out on second down, second and long. Ball back outside of the red zone now. Leicester in pistol formation. Receives the snap, throws it up, and it's in. Oh, should have been intercepted there by Sussex. Number 29, Mark Podmore, had the ball in his hands, and then I think as he tried to spin to adjust to the flight, let it go. It's really not what you want. So it's currently 3-0. Hasn't been a high-scoring game as both teams combat with the wind and penalty calls against them. Yeah, we're slowly drawing towards the end of the second quarter here. Solent still with the ball just after that incredibly missed opportunity for an interception. Leicester scrambles out wide to Alex Bruce, who can't haul it in. It was right on the sideline on the drag route. But Solent struggling up. They were really hit hard by that loss of Adesanya. And I don't blame them at all for it. It's a big thing to have to adjust to. Fourth down now. Solent punting it. Don't have the confidence to go for the field goal. That's received in the 5-yard line. Oh, Sussex cut back to the right side of the field. Get some decent yardage. Some decent yardage there, up to about the just over the 20-yard line. It was a high tackle, I must admit, from Solent there. Kind of hooked their arm around the upper shoulders, almost to the neck, to roll him down in a way. But no flag was thrown. No high tackle caused or no face mark foul called by the referees. So Sussex. Sussex to get the ball again. Still 3-0 to Sussex. Remember they won their last game 6-0, and they are on track to do the same here if things stay the same. Solent defence going out, trying to get another stop. Remember, the whole Solent were in that great position because they managed to force a fumble and recovered it after their offence had to punt. So, not entirely sure why we had a pause here. I think it was a timeout there called. Well, Sussex wait. They wait on the field. There are two distinct huddles on it for Solent, offense and defense. So Billy Swallow very, very vocal on the sidelines here, doing everything he can to big up his teammates. Unfortunately, the teammates he was hyping up were other teammates who are still. I know. I apologise entirely. There was a foul on the punt. It's still 4th down to Solent. There's a lot of confusion as to what is happening here. Again, two huddles on the sideline, whilst Sussex wait on the pitch. Leicester off the pitch. The Solent quarterback on the sideline. I believe there was an issue with the punt, so they're being told to redo it. Sorry for all the confusion there. Oh, but it's a fake punt. They're going to go for it. Punter tries to go for it. In the end, gets nowhere near. And finally, I feel very confident in saying this, there is a turnover. Again, apologise for any foul language you may or may not have heard there. Tensions are running a little bit high here, as Solent want to get on the board, on the scoreboard, before half-time hits. But yes, it seemed there was an issue with the original punt by Solent, which meant they had to redo it, which is why it took so long and why the offence went back on the field despite having already punted. So now, after the second punt had been taken and has been given the OK, Sussex given the ball with a running play, cuts out to the right hand side, gets a lot of yards. Seems like a 15, almost 20 yard play there by Sussex to give him the first and more. And that's not, if you're a Solent fan, that's not what you want to see at all. Sorry. Time running out to mount a counter drive, if you will. Sussex starting to gain momentum. with the ball, with the clock. The cheerleaders trying to do their bit to help the oh my god, what a play there by Kazidi Tshishi Mpinga. A fantastic play. Tossed the ball on the near side here, stiff-armed one defender onto the floor, broke one tackle and made about a 30-yard gain there. That was quite incredible. Solent Sidelines can't believe they allowed him to get that much yardage on a play that looked like he had been swallowed up, but just found that gap, burst down the sideline without stepping out of bounds, and took full advantage. So, big play. Again, it's becoming a little bit of a theme here with unfortunately for the offence, that huge run has been discounted. A huge play. They've received a 15-yard penalty for a blindside block. That is really a good escape for Solent there. One, you can argue, did they deserve it? Did they not? Who knows? That's a question I can't answer. But regardless, they were given a saving grace, a 15-yard penalty there. And Sussex, after great work, I've got to go back to where we started. And this time, Solent do a lot better. Swallow up the run straight away at the line of scrimmage, giving no gain to Sussex. They've been given a saving grace almost here, Solent, and they're taking full advantage. You may not be able to see it, but the cheerleaders over to our left are doing some routines, trying to help get some fire into this very, very drafty field here at Test Park. I must admit, I do envy them. They're able to move around, get warm, and have pom-poms to keep their hands warm. Sitting here on the gantry, that is something I am now quite envious of. Run it back to the football here, running play. Again, Solent quick on it, forcing him back. Got him down behind, or just behind the line of scrimmage. Making sure that there is no 30-yard play again by Mpinga, because he's shown he can do it. He's had a good game so far, Mpinga, for Sussex. And Solent just doing absolutely everything they can to make sure that he does not find his rhythm again. So it's 3rd and long here after that win the situation because of that blindside blocking. Penalty call on Sussex here. Oh, another fumble. This time it is recovered by Sussex. They escape, but it becomes 4th down. So, looking like Sussex going for punt, it looks like. Yep. Alex Bruce has just been told he is now the punt returner for this play. So out he goes. And this punt is against the wind. But a lot of distance on it. Good reception by Alex Bruce. Cuts to the right. Brought down there by a good tackle. But he did well to hold on there to the ball there, Alex Bruce. Sussex defence tried to punch it out of his arms. I had a good technique, but the ironclad grip of Alex Bruce proved too much. And so, again, Solent defence doing everything they can to keep it a one-possession game, to make sure that the 3-0 scoreline does not get any more of a deficit for the home side. Sussex leading 3-0. Passing play was caught. Great pass by Ben Lester there. He seems to have hurt himself in the process. He's limping a little bit. The time is running out. Solent rushing to try and spike the ball so they can stop the clock. They get it off in time. Get off going for the huddle. That was a great play there by Ben Lester to the wide receiver. Again, this Solent starting to make the passing plays when they need to. They line up again in the shotgun formation. Leicester in the backfield. Gets the pass off to Tom Mudra, who did well to make the catch, considering the pass was very low, almost at his knee height. Manages to hold on, gets about a yard. On third down, it's now fourth. Alex Bruce being told on the sideline he might have to go back in. He's been everywhere, Alex Bruce. He's special teams, offense. One of his key players. Houston subbed in for Finian Putnose, had to come onto the sideline now. We're in make or break territory here for Solent to get on the board before half time. It's fourth and long, 9 yards maybe. Go for the passing play. Oh, and it's batted out of his hand. I think it was ruled an incompletion there. Just managed, Leicester manages to get it off before the hand comes in to hit the ball. But it doesn't matter anyway, it was fourth down. It's a turnover on downs as opposed to a fumble recovery. And Sussex now with the ball. Solent offense, they are finding the plays. When the receivers cut inwards in the centre of the pitch, up the seam, that's when they're finding open space and receivers. But they just cannot find that killer pass, that killer blow. Oh, big sack. Big sack there by Austin Cannon. I think a fantastic sack. Send the Sussex quarterback back by about 7 yards. For sure, I think he's felt the hit as well. He's still on the floor, on his back. The paramedics are coming over. We hope nothing serious has happened to him. So the paramedics making their way over to the quarterback there. That's Benjamin Gaborio on the floor. So I think as we hit half time, it is currently 3-0 to Sussex. So it's Solent Redhawks 0, Sussex Saxons 3 here at Test Park. The wind has been ferocious all game long so far. There have been penalty calls on for plentiful times for both teams. The offence on both teams has struggled so far. And currently a field goal is all that separates the two sides going into the half-time break. The players are quite lucky in the timing. It's just started to rain a little bit with some drizzle. I'm hoping that's all it does, because sitting on essentially some scaffolding, I'm not sure I'd be too protected against the elements here. Should it get any heavier. Cheerleaders have cheered off the Solent players, giving them a little boost before they get inside the warm for half time. I apologise if any of the footage is disturbed by what seems like a plastic cover. We are trying to protect our equipment by putting on rain protection so it doesn't get wet and the stream doesn't fail again. We've already had technical issues at the start, and we do apologise for that. But hopefully we believe we have, for a still unclear reason, midway through the second quarter it was kicked out, which meant Solent lost arguably their most efficient outlet today, which forced them to go into a passing game, and it started to work. They got a few 10-yard plays which kept getting them first downs, but just couldn't find that final blow into the end zone. So but the Solent defence, I think that's where the plaudits so far have to go to. They've had a fumble recovery, they've had turnovers on downs, they forced a couple of punts. They have done what they've needed to do to make sure that Sussex don't put another score on the board. It's still only a one possession game. A field goal for Solent ties it up. A touchdown either way could easily win it so far. The wind is making it so difficult. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I just really cannot stress what this wind is doing. My colleague Jack's had to get a bin line out to try and protect our gear. That's the kind of conditions we are working with at the moment. Unfortunately, you may be able to see crossing the field now as a Sussex injured player having to be carried across. It seems like he's injured his left leg there. We hope all goes well for him and it is nothing too serious. But rather excitingly, the final play of the half was a sack for Solent. So hopefully that might be a premonition of things to come for the home team. I think special mention has to be given to Ben Lester, who, sitting at the start of the game, he couldn't pass whether he wanted to or not because the conditions were just so adverse. He waited, he bided his time, waited for the wind to die down slightly, and then started to make good throws. Even the ones that were ruled incomplete were just off the fingertips of his receivers. He's showing why Solent are excited to have him as their quarterback this year. We're still just waiting for that big score. The atmosphere here at the Test Park has died down a little. Over in the far corner, to my right, you've got two huddles of Sussex Saxons. One can only assume one's offence and one's defence, as they well, one stands, one sits, and receives the instructions from their coaches, whilst the Solent Redhawks have the luxury of being able to go inside into the warm and dry. Sam Adesanya is down here to my left, in a tracksuit. He's out of his gear. He's not coming back this game, it looks like, which is a shame, because if the foul hadn't been called, he could have easily been going for a back-to-back offensive MVP performance. He kept turning plays which looked like he would go nowhere. He just found some burst into a gap, and what would have been maybe a no yard or 1 yard gain turned into 4 or 5 yards on the play, and that's what made him stand out. That's what made Solent, especially in the first quarter, tick. They just got those little yards that made it slightly easier on the next play to get the first down. Especially when you consider that Solent started with 3 and out, 3 plays, nothing happened, almost intercepted in fact, and then a punt. They did well to turn that around and keep it to a 3-0 lead to Sussex. Sussex have to be given credit, of course. They have scored the only points of the game. They also got an interception after a very wayward pass from Leicester. They've struggled to get to Leicester in the backfield and in the pocket. They have both offensive lines, to be fair to both sides, have stood up well against each other, finding those gaps and creating those blocks up until the very last play of the half. But it's promising to see for both teams that their quarterback does have the time to make the plays. And as we saw for Solent, a little bit more so than for Sussex, giving him that time started to pay dividends near the end. Okay, so again, if you hear any rustling, I do apologise for that. It's just, we are very, very exposed here. I've got the cheerleaders coming in front of me to share the support and hopefully try and just inject some more energy here. Unfortunately, it's not a big crowd, but their energy is helping the Solent team. I forgot to, unfortunately, as the stream was starting, we forgot to mention that the cheerleaders did a parade for the players as they entered onto the pitch, which really set the tone. It definitely gave the players a smile as they wandered into the lines of scrimmage. Yeah, we're slowly ticking towards the third quarter here. Unfortunately, still, I'm stuck out in the cold as the players are now in the warm. Sussex are just, some of them are warming up, some of them are in huddles discussing with the coaches. This game could have easily have been a 14-10 game by this point. It was just, the wind has been so unfortunate for both teams, just taking the ball out of their hands, dropped catches across the game. And I think that is the tale of the pitch, is just so many nearly moments. Sussex could have easily had an interception towards the middle of the second quarter. All they would have needed was just to hold on for a second more before he went down, but the spin of his body took the ball out of his hands. There is now a dog on the pitch. I hope that's not the mascot. So the Solent are the Red Hawks, not the red. Looks like a small poodle, but if he gives them some excitement and energy, then I won't complain one bit. Starting to see some action from the dressing rooms as some of the coaches come back onto the field. So if you are wanting to share this live stream with your friends and family, please do. We'd love to get some more attention onto this. Just send them to the Solent Redhawks YouTube channel. We would love as many of you watching as possible. Again, this is only the second game of the season. Plenty more games to come this calendar year and into the next. You can follow the teams on Twitter, on Facebook and on Instagram as they go through their journey. There's plenty of updates. And as I say this, the Redhawks appear back on the sidelines. They have returned from the warm and dry, and they're looking ready. There's a quiet steel about them. They know they've got a job to do. They're coming from behind. They know that, and I'm sure they've been told to make sure they get as quick as possible back on level terms or even in front. If you hear shivering in my voice, I must admit the cold is starting to get to me. I won't lie. The players do have the benefit of being able to run around a little bit. But let's hope we can look forward to a second half full of fire and heat and excitement to warm my bones. So, just a short while away from the beginning of the third quarter and the second half. To give you an idea of some of the effort that's been on show, one of the players, Max, had war paint on his face at the start of the game. Very intricately done. It is now smudged with sweat across his entire face, which I think really shows the effort being put in by him and his teammates. Alternatively, there are some balaclavas being adorned by the Solent Redhawks. Anything to keep out the cold, to keep out the wind. I think it is a great sign that almost all of them are wearing gloves. So hopefully the cold finger curse of dropped catches won't plague either side. The coach is giving some final instructions to their players now. A lot of jumping up and down on the sidelines, and the final Sussex players have rejoined their teammates as they some of the players keep their arms and legs warm by practicing some throws and punts on the field. And I must admit, whoever's punting right now for them is doing very well, and I'm surprised he wasn't a punter during the game.
Anyone got the time?
Time's up there.
So, yeah, so coaches now telling the Solent Redhawks to warm up. They do not want to be caught on another cold start. That's how they started this game. It did not go well. They elected to receive. They got the toss. They elected to receive at the start of the game. A decision that we will see whether was a good idea or not. So lined up along the sideline in front of me with their captains in front, leading the warm-up. Sussex being told to get over to the sideline and suit back up. I shall return soon, but in a very short moment I will hand you over to my colleague Jack Bunclark, who started the stream with me, and he will be able to take you hopefully into the third quarter. Thank you.
Second half is moments away, as you can see on the screen. The Solent Redhawks are keeping warm in this blustery and windy conditions as they prepare for a second half to try and maintain their perfect start to the season. Last time out, beating Oxford 20-6, but Sussex Saxons aren't going to lie down either. Got a 3-0 lead in this game. Beating Surrey last time out by only 6-0, so they know what it's like to keep a clean sheet at the back and not conceding any points. Very resilient in defence. It's vital that they keep warm during the interval to try and maintain their warmth and their muscles and make sure that they're ready to go under the way when the second half is ready to go. As you can see in the distance, the referees are coming back onto the pitch. They've had some controversial decisions in this first half. Obviously, bringing back the brilliant play by Sussex by number 0, 15-yard penalty, but he made about 30 yards, so it was a real shame for the visitors. But you know what? It's been a really enthralling game. Mistakes of each side, but the game is there for the taking for both of them, so it's going to be really interesting what's going to happen in the second half. Sussex are a team that love to run. Last time out against Surrey, they ran 68% of the times on the first down. So it's real. You can see why number 0 is getting involved in the game, and he's been brilliant. It's such a shame that Adesanya got ejected from the game because they could have had a real battle and they were really influential for both sides. Josh is now returning to the scaffold or the gantry with some gloves on, as he's really feeling the cold here, as the second half is only moments away.
Yeah, thank you, Jack, for covering me there. Now return, it seems in perfect time to see the resumption of the game and the start of the second half. It's a very fine drizzle starting to hit the field now, which I only make the The ball slippier. The field slippier. The hands, well, hopefully not slippier, but you never know. And so Solent get ready to kick us off for the second half. I am quite impressed by one of the Solent coaches here, who, in spite of the biting wind, the drizzle of rain, and just the low temperature in general, is just in a t-shirt. But more importantly, Solent kick us off. The bubble caught out Sussex. He goes for a return. Oh, he finds a bit of space down the right hand side before being brought down about 25-yard line. Coincidentally, where he would have been, the ball would have been spotted. Should he have taken a fair kick or a drop back? So, Solent defence ready to go out and hopefully continue their form. They had a fantastic first half. They got a sack, they recorded a fumble recovery, they forced turnovers on downs, they forced a punt. You can argue the only reason they even conceded a field goal is because the ball was turned over so close to the end zone in the first place. So here we go. Seems that the Sussex quarterback, who had a big hit at the end of the half, has recovered enough to play. Goes for a toss to the running back. Absolutely shut down by the Solent defence. They were almost level with the running back by the time the ball had even left the quarterback's hand. That's the exact start that Solent Redhawks would have wanted. They wanted to stop the running game, which unfortunately for them, Sussex had started to become quite good at. So, again, drop back, pass, caught by number 88, runs to the sideline, gets the first, keeps on going down the sideline, keeps going. Believe he went out of bounds. That was a huge gain there by Sussex Saxons. What seemed like maybe he could have got it first. He found that burst of space and that just seemed to be able to run down the sideline without getting forced out of bounds. Eventually he did. That's about a 20-yard gain there. Makes up for the lost yards on the failed running play and a vast amount more. They go back to the running game, found a little gap, but a big tackle there by Leo's Alex Bruce. Made sure that run did not get very far at all, and the running back will definitely be remembering how that felt. So, second down, 7 yards to go to the first down. Another HB toss to the right. It cuts in, gets the first down. He's going. Finally gets tackled out of bounds. But again, that's about another 25-yard play. And so in the last 4 plays, that's about 55 yards given up there by the Solent defence. Whatever the Sussex Saxons coach said to his offensive team clearly was taken on board. So they need a stop here, something to stop the momentum of the Saxons coming pouring forward. That's another running play. Gets a few yards, doesn't quite get the first, but does make inroads again into Solent territory. Slowly making it towards the red zone, out 10 yards out from the red zone. Solent defense not clicking like it was in the first half. Not sure exactly why that is, but they are struggling. Well, a fake handoff goes to the running back. Oh, big tackle there by the safety. That was a huge, crucial tackle because I thought he was the last man back. But in the end, Callum Dobson proved to do enough to halt his run. It does get Sussex into the red zone though, into the, it's about the 15-yard line. But that was a slight injury time out there, number 12 for Sussex, I believe. That's Zach Alvarez taking a bit of a hit there. It was his teammate that got the run. Yeah, Adam Dobson, he was essential there. If he hadn't have been there, that would have been a 9-0 lead. As it is, it's still only 3-0 here in the third quarter. Sussex, oh, another fumble. The quarterback tries to recover the play, gets maybe a yard or two. But the Sussex Saxon centre struggling to snap the ball at times. Want to ensure that it at least reaches his quarterback's hand. Second down now. 9, maybe 10 yards to go for a first down.
In the bag down there, is there a plug socket? Like for chargers?
Not a lot of space for the Solent defensive backs to work with. They've got to make any play they make very quickly. So running back to the right hand side, he finds the space. He's in for the touchdown. In for the touchdown. It's a 9-0 lead to the Sussex Saxons. Solent had geared up on the left, expecting to run. They went the other side, and in the end, there just wasn't enough defenders back to stop him reaching the end zone.
Yeah, thank you.
So, 9-0 lead to Sussex here in the third. The rain is starting to pour now, very, very ironically. It's almost as if it's a prophetic fallacy, but yes, the rain is pouring. PAT attempt for Sussex to make it a 10-0 lead. Blocked! When it's blocked, it remains a 9-0 lead. A little bit of hope here. Unfortunately, it's a Solent player down and smacked. Max Collett there on the floor. Well, it looks like a lot of pain. The paramedic's been called on to him. Hopefully, he's okay. And he's just been winded. He's moving. That's always a good sign. But it remains 9-0 after the blocked PAT. A moment of hope there for Solent. Yeah, Max is back on his feet. He's walking around, so fingers crossed. There was just a bit of a winded because he was unfortunately on the bottom of a pile of about 6 different guys who are all trying to find that fumbled ball. The rain, as I say, the rain is starting to get a little bit heavier and a little bit more frequent now. I hope that means a few more missed tackles when the players are able to slide through as Solent get ready to receive the kickoff. And this kick's going against the wind. Confirmation there for Max that he was just winded, so Solent are not another man down. Nice reception from Alex Bruce, he sends his own teammate into the tackle to try and find the space. Doesn't quite pull it off though, as he ends up just following his teammate into the same tackle. But it was a nice return of about 10 yards, or 10-15 yards there from Alex Bruce. And now it's over to Ben Lester and the offence of Solent Redhawks to put together a scoring drive for the first time today. They're still without a point. As the two teams get ready for this new drive, I'm starting to see some umbrellas pop up around the field, and I must admit, as a foresight I wish I had had. Okay, so Solent receives the snap to Leicester. Leicester has to scramble to the right, or to the left, sorry. Goes for it, keeps it, gets the first down. Good scramble there by Ben Lester. There you go, big first down scramble there by Ben Lester, proving he doesn't just have to throw it, he can carry it himself. Got to admire those kind of movements. Yeah, you think to the great NFL quarterbacks currently in the league, those who can scramble just reach another level of dynamics. You know, Lamar Jackson, Joshua Dobbs now. And we'll see us. New set down. The downs. Running play, got a couple of yards there for Deshaun Brown. Not a huge gain, but still positive progress. So second down, about 8 yards to go until the first down. Just over halfway on the 52-yard line there, Solent. They set up pistol formation for Ben Lester. Takes a snap. Gets the completion. Oh, and the lateral. Lateral to Deshaun Brown. Gets just over to about the 44 yard line into the Sussex territory there, sorry. There's a nice little lateral there from Tom Mudra. Knew he was getting tackled straight away on the quick hitch route. Knew what to do. Lateral the ball to Deshaun Brown, who managed to gain a couple extra yards. Some adjustments being made there by Ben Lester. Play action pass into, oh no, it's dropped. That's the second time that Ben Lester's thrown a very dangerous ball into coverage. But Sussex just could not make the interception stick. That's the second time they've dropped on what seemed like absolute guaranteed interception. So the play action pass it's been quite a good option for Solent so far today. Not putting off this time. It's 4th down, 4th and 5. Solent electing to punt because they have got the rest of the 3rd and obviously the 4th quarter to make up for this deficit. Good punt there. Good punt there. And it's fumbled. It's fumbled by Sussex. And the ball's still out. It's still being fumbled. Not sure who's got it. Solent recover the punt. It was a fumbled catch by Sussex. The ball dropped back into the 10-yard line. Solent recover it, which means they get a fresh set of downs and the ball within the 5-yard line. That could not have gone much better for Solent if they tried. They are desperate to score a touchdown here. To bring them back within 1 possession would be a huge turn of events. What seemed like another failed drive has just suddenly turned into an absolutely golden opportunity. You've got Freddie Baiku and Dejon Brown in the backfield. It's given to Dejon Brown. He cuts to the left. There's a flag on the play. He gets in for the touchdown. There is a flag on the play. And instead of being a touchdown to Solent, it is a holding call on the offence, which means they get a 10-yard penalty. Still a 1st down, but they move back 10 yards. And what was a penalty, was a touchdown to make it a 9-6 game, is now a 9-0 game. And Solent are back on around the about 10-yard line, or sorry, 13-yard line. So need something here. Something to hold on to, something to give them hope. Leicester in the backfield. Takes the snap, passes it to Bruce. Big hit. But holds on to the ball crucially. Alexander Bruce with a huge catch there. Brings them right back towards the goal line, only a couple of yards to go. 2nd down. Right back where they started before the penalty call. Solent gearing up, 2nd down. Couple of yards to go for a touchdown. Dejon Brown and Joe Hall in the backfield. It's Joe Hall. He's going to the left. He's keeping going. And he is forced out of bounds for no gain. Might have even lost a yard there. Still, 3rd down. Solent still in a great position. Still with the opportunity to get points on the board. Solent team wait on the sideline with bated breath to see what will happen. Heckling calls come from the Sussex bench. Ben Leicester, takes the snap. Goes to run it himself. Stopped at the 1-yard line. Max Connett's down again. This time looking at holding his leg. Paramedic is being called onto the field. It has to be almost inches towards the goal line. Leicester ran into the maelstrom of tackles and fought, just couldn't quite breach that goal line. So it remains 9-0 to Sussex in the third quarter here. I don't want to jinx it at all, but there's the slightest hint of blue sky coming from my left. So Max Collett's given the OK. He's taken off the field, he's been checked over. It's 4th and inches. Or 4th and 1 at the, maybe 4th and 2 at the very, very, very most. It's given to DeJohn Brown. He cuts left. It's denied at the goal line. Goal line stand by Sussex stops Solent from scoring. So it remains 9-0 and turnover on downs on the Sussex 1 yard line. They got so lucky with the fumble recovery there, Solent. They did so well to be able to recover it. But it just seems they cannot find that half a yard to get them into the end zone. When the Solent defence next takes to the field, we've heard on the sideline the coaches talking back and forth. They're going to, the linebackers and cornerbacks and defensive backs have all been told, this game is almost on you now. We're relying on you to try and help us turn this around. They've done well so far this game, but we're going to need to pull out another huge performance. The paramedics still tending to someone on the field. Can't quite see who it is from over here, but he's been on the floor a little while. He is moving, he is talking, which is fantastic news. But again, we hope it is nothing too serious at all. So as this lull in play carries on, as the paramedics tend to the player, music pumps away to my left as it changes again, try and inject some warmth and energy into this match. Both teams taking knee on the sidelines, listening to the coaches, doing all they can on one side to get back into the game, on the other to see the game out. Fortunately, the Solent player is still on the floor, which is never a good sign. They haven't been able to get up so far. There you go, he's finally... He's able to sit up now. That's the very unfortunate side of this sport of American football. Unfortunately, when the injuries do come, they hit very hard. Redhawks getting their defence ready to go on, try and get another stop. There you go, Alex Bruce was the man on the floor. He's now up and walking, which is fantastic to see. He's applauded off the field by both sets of players. He's been all over the pitch so far today, Alex Bruce. It's been crucial to helping Solent make yards on special teams and on offence. We can only hope this isn't the end of his day and that he is okay. So as he crosses in front of us, we return to the action. Solent defence pressing very high, but could not stop the run from Sussex, which gets the first down from the 1 yard line. They get all the way up to the 11. Not once Solent won, because now, whether he might have been able to force a safety and get possession back, they now have to deal with Sussex having a lot more options in the pocket, being able to scramble to the left or right. So here we go. Sussex lining up on a new set of downs on their own 11. Ball snapped. Just doesn't go far at all. Maybe a 2 yard gain on the play for Sussex there. Defensive linemen and linebackers doing their job in stopping the run. And the coaches were saying, Solent coaches were saying in front of us here, they're relying on their defense now. They need them to pull out a miracle from the bottom of the bag or out of the magic hat, whatever terminology you'd like to use. They need a miracle from it. Again, another running play which gains steam. He's going. He somehow found all the space in the world on the right hand side, broke a tackle, then broke another, and it's a touchdown again for Sussex. It is a 15-0 lead to Sussex in the third quarter. And that is a blow to the guts for Solent. They were so close to scoring a touchdown of their own, a matter of inches. And then within a matter of 3 plays, they'd conceded one of their own. So Sussex lining up for the PAT after that almost 80-yard touchdown run, making it a 16-0 lead to Sussex. So the mood very quickly darkened here. The sun, which was starting to peek out, has now been covered up by clouds. The noise from the crowd has died slightly. The energy that had been so boisterous in the Solent bench seemed sucked out there in that moment. And so we enter the fourth quarter. Solent getting ready to return. They have a 16-0 lead to try and equalise. So I should say they have a 16-0 deficit to try and wipe out, which is technically still a 2-possession lead. If they score 2 touchdowns and score 2 two-point conversions without conceding any more points, they can tie this game up. However, that was not the way to do it after dropping the kick reception. It's recovered and they've managed to get it just over the 20-yard line. A flag has been thrown on the play though. Not quite sure what. It seemed like an off-the-ball incident. Not sure exactly what happened there, but the most important thing was the ball was returned to just over the 20-yard line. Referee's just getting ready to announce what that flag was called for. Still a lot of confusion out there on the field as to what exactly is happening, where the ball's being spotted. Still no announcement on the foul or why the flag was thrown. The ball is being spotted back almost over the 12-yard line. Another 10-yard penalty against the Solent Redhawks there. Because couldn't quite hear the reason as the wind started to blow. Very, very blustery at that point, but there was a 10-yard penalty against Solent. Again. Oh, and the ball is intercepted for a touchdown. Straight away. That's a 22-0 lead to Sussex. That happened very, very quickly. There's been another ejection for Solent during that chaos. Max Collett has been ejected as well as Adesanya, who was ejected in the first half. So that means Solent are 2 players down, having been kicked out by the refs. The first play, having just conceded a huge touchdown run after receiving a 10-yard penalty, was to throw a pick 6, unfortunately for Solent. In their own 10 yards, they throw the ball, picked off straight away. And Sussex, all they had to do was walk it in, which is what they did. It's not been Solent's day at all today. And now there's been another flag thrown for going offside on Solent. As it's a PAT, not too much damage is dealt. They inch closer towards their own goal line as a result of that flag. So Sussex are trying to make it a 23-point lead, which they do. So in the fourth quarter, Sussex 23, Solent 0. So, as it was, 23-0 after the made PAT. Solent, having lost 2 players to ejections within the space of about 2 minutes, gave up maybe a 70-80 yard touchdown run. Zoom out. Sorry for that, a slight interruption, but yes, as I was saying, there was a 23-point lead in 2 minutes, 70-yard touchdown run, followed by a pick 6, and it seems the game has now gone from Solent. A bit too far, a bit too much of a mountain to climb now. However, as I say that, everyone remembers the New England Patriots and Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl. Everyone remembers the Minneapolis Miracle. Comebacks do happen, and until that clock ticks to 0, it's never over. The kick return was a return with decent yardage, almost to the 40-yard line, just about out at the 36, 37. There's a flag thrown on the play. Again, I apologise for any foul language heard there by the Redhawks players. That's another penalty for Solent for holding. So that's a 10-yard penalty again for Solent for holding. Frustration starting to boil over here on the sidelines. So the ball was moved back towards 17-yard line. The ball is thrown and almost another interception, almost a third for the day for Sussex. Again, instead of being the third interception, it turns out to be the third dropped interception. That's just, Solent have been playing really fast and loose with their passes in this second half. Been punished once. We're lucky in the first half not to be punished a few more times. And that again really should have been picked off. I think Solent benefited from the fact that the Sussex linebacker wasn't expecting the ball quite so quickly. Sean Brown there getting a couple of yards there. But it seems like it's going to be one of those days for Solent. Ben Lester has been rested, I believe. He is now on the sidelines. He is suiting up again. But he's been given a little bit of a rest by the coaches. Oh. Ben Newber scrambles out wide, out to the right, throws the ball in more hope and desperation than of actually having a target. Again, didn't quite get the connection with the throw he wanted to. And luckily for him, the ball didn't get much distance at all, because if it got a couple further yards, he would have been picked off again by Sussex. The cornerback sliding to try and intercept it, but just couldn't get far enough forward. The cheerleaders in the corner trying to do their best to get ready to send the Solent players off with confidence for their next game at least. But there's been little to cheer about today, unfortunately. Punting for Solent. Spins off to the right. Gets unlucky with the bounce. And then falls around their own 43-yard line. So, in the fourth quarter, it's 23 to Sussex, 0 to Solent Redhawks. And after that punt, it is now Sussex's ball on the Solent 42. The running play happens again, straight up the middle, gets a good gain of about 9 yards. Stopped just short of the first down by Sussex. So here we go again, trying to get a first down there, about a yard away from it. Oh, a fumbled ball recovered by Mpinga. Dropped the ball. But in the end, no Solent Redhawk was close enough to him to make an attempt to try and grab the ball back. So it's third down, and now it's 6 yards to go. Takes the snap. And ball comes out and it's recovered by Solent. Another fumble recovery by Solent Redhawks. One of the few bright spots in this match for them has been their ability to recover the ball. And right, there we go again. And receiving the ball. Now Solent back on offence. On their own 39. Hoping to get at least on the board. If not, if the wind seems too far out of grass, they would love to get on the board at least. Newborough takes a snap, launches it, does not get the connection at all, and it's picked off again. Another interception for the Sussex. And having just recovered the ball, done so well with the Solent defence, they're already back out onto the field. The ball just didn't come out of Newborough's hand right, and in the end, it was just whoever was closest to when it landed, and unfortunately for Solent, it turned out to be someone in red rather than white. Oh, good play action, sees the running back run out to the left hand side, gets the first down, turns into a play of about 15-16 yards there. A lot of the Solent Redhawks followed the quarterback thinking he had kept it. Wasn't the case. And in the end, Sussex walked forward, but there was a flag on the play. A flag has been thrown. And Sussex are moving backwards. And there was slight lull for cheerleading outfit are having a seems like a competition of sorts. See who has the best routine. So after that holding penalty on the Sussex, we'll try again. Ball out onto the slant route, doesn't get the connection he was looking for on the catch. Incomplete. Second down. So both teams seemingly playing out the clock here. Some adjustments being made from the sideline. The quarterback scrambles out left, gets sacked. There was a big sack there by Jake Steele. Forces the Sussex Saxons back even further. On third down. Referees calling attention to something. Not completely sure what. Referee's going over to the Sussex bench to talk to the coach. One of the players has been told to get off the pitch. I'm not sure if it's an ejection or what is happening, but they've been told to move themselves, which they now have done. The rain is slowly starting to make a reappearance after having had a slight lull. Solent coaches telling their players to expect a run, so both teams can run out of a clock and see full time, see the final whistle. Contrary to what the Solent Redhawks coach predicted, as you saw there, it was actually a passing play. Trying to find the wide receiver on the far left. Fortunately, didn't connect. And it goes to 4th down. They arguably had to go for it, so the frustration from the Solent head coaches are not running it is maybe slightly not mirrored by the Sussex bench. They never had to at least go for the long 3rd down play. Punt goes to the 40-yard line, just behind the 40-yard line, about the 37-yard line on the Solent. A flag was thrown on the play though, as it seems the game has dissolved into a slight unorganised confusion. Penalty was declined there by Solent, so they got the ball. The Solent offense back out onto the pitch on their own, in their own half, about the 37-yard line. 37-yard line. Just trying to see this game out now. Maybe try and get something on the board, something to cheer about, something to celebrate, something to hold on to. The defence has had a game that, whilst has been by no means their best performance, they've definitely helped their team stay in it for as long as possible, with fumble recoveries, tackles for losses. Snaps taking the ball, is fumbled. He manages to recover it. Ben Lester there, throwing the ball to his running back. Drops it mid-stride. I think he just bobbled up off his knee as he was running. And so it's 2nd down. Second down for Solent here in their own half. In the 4th quarter. Still 23-0 to the Sussex Saxons. Playing for pride's sake here, more than to go for the win. So Leicester takes a snap, pitches it, tries to find some space on the left, doesn't find it. Nick Williams, unfortunately, swallowed up by the Sussex defence. They expected to run, they found the run, they stopped the run. So Solent still on third down, looking for that score. Ben Leston in pistol formation. John Brown with him in the backfield. That's it. Oh, a trick play. A wildcat play. Oh, big hit though. But a lot of yards gained there by Ollie Price. Leicester gave it to Dejon Brown, who ran to the left, flicked it back up on the lateral to Ollie Price, who ran across the field to the right hand side and gained a lot of yards there. So it's now 4th and 4 for Solent Redhawks. They're going to go for it. Try and keep marching down the field. So they line up. Leicester and Brown in the backfield. Another running play. Stopped short. Did not get the first. It's another player down. That's why they're taking the knee here. As Dejon Brown is still on the floor. Paramedic is making his way onto the field again. He's been used a lot this game, unfortunately, Paramedic. I'm sure everyone would have preferred for him to have a much quieter game. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So, Dejon Brown receiving his treatment here. Slowly being lifted onto his feet. And ambles his way over to the sideline. As again, both teams applaud him. So Solent back on the field. They did get the first, I apologise. They got it by a matter of inches. Sean Jackson's final play was enough to get the first as he walked off the pitch injured. They go for the same play. Ollie Price tries it, gets nowhere. Tackled for a loss of about 5 yards. It worked once, didn't quite work the second time as well. Ollie Price taking a big hit there as well at the end of that play. So the ball moves back by about 5 yards. So Solent offense again. Time has been called by the referees. Two-minute warning has just gone here in the fourth quarter. 3 timeouts for the Redhawks, should they want them. So Solent going back out onto the field. Ben Leicester, Benjamin Newborough, Ollie Price, all trying to make sure that Solent don't have a 0 by their name at the end of the game. Good throw by Newborough, who drops it. Wide open, in space. On the curlback route. But in the end, couldn't hold on to it, and so it becomes third down and long. You may be able to hear that the Solent Redhawks are now on very, very limited numbers. On defence, they are stretched across the board, which might explain why they struggled in this fourth quarter. So Ben Lester goes out to the right, throws it up on third down, does not find a receiver. Ollie Price is looking for the foul, does not get it. So it's fourth and long for Solent. Fourth and long for Solent on their 42. They're going to go for it. There's the 2-minute warning has already been and gone. They know they don't have to stay in this match much longer, as I'm sure most of them would like to. Move forward, look to next week to redeem the team. Another call by the ref. So let's come to the sideline. 23-0 down. Going for some more coaching tips. It's been a great opportunity to try some plays that haven't been able to be given a run out yet. Last week's game was quite competitive. They might not have wanted to risk trying some plays that they weren't quite confident in a game environment. Today, with very little to lose at this point. But now, today, when there's not much on the line anymore, with so little time left, they can try these plays. So fourth down, fourth and long, in their own half. Leicester in the backfield with Joe Hall. Shotgun formation. Newbrinder, slot receiver, gets the pass, gets the lateral to Joe Hall. Newborough was ruled down before the lateral though. So unfortunately, as much as the play would have gotten a lot of yards, might have even gotten the first, unfortunately. The ball was already down. The play was over by the time Joe Hall even received the ball. Newborough taking the knee to receive the ball as it was slightly low for him to catch. And so, turnover on downs. It's convention at this point to when there's nothing on the line as such, as if it is very, very, very unlikely enough points should be scored to change the outcome of the game. Should either take a knee or do a running play to keep the top of the clock ticking. There we go, the running play finds a big gap down the centre. I take that back. There's another touchdown. A huge 40-yard burst. Almost straight down the middle, angled towards the right-hand side for Sussex. That's a 29-point lead now, 29-0. Not the end at all that Solent would have wanted. It just seemed to be a clear path throughout the Solent defence. And so they get ready for the PAT to make it a 30-point game. Solent have just struggled so much with that running game in the second half. So we get ready for the kick. Snaps off. It's fumbled. And then intercepted. But the kicker tackles the recovery of fumble by Solent with aplomb, making sure it's not returned for a 2-point conversion by the Solent defence. Sussex have had a struggle with those snaps so far today. A few fumbles from the snap, and then again there, a botched PAT there. So Solent get ready to return the kick. It's with a minute to go in the game. Sussex 29, Solent 0 here at Test Park. The wind is blowing, the kick is about to go for Sussex. It's recovered by Ollie Price. Finds a little bit of a gap, but then takes a big hit straight down the centre. Returned it to about a 30-yard line, maybe just a couple of yards more. So Solent offence out on the field again. Only a couple of plays left in this game. The contest, unfortunately, was over a short while ago. There's still the opportunity to do something to take home, to take to the drawing board for next week to build on. This would move Solent onto a 1-on-1 record after their win against Oxford Brookes last week. There's been a flag on the play though. Solent are struggling to get enough players on the pitch here. With so many injuries racking up, with two of their players being ejected, they haven't got enough players to make sure that every player they have are fresh, enough energy to make sure they're not at a disadvantage. In front of me, Deshaun Brown has returned from injury and is suiting up in a different jersey so that he can play in the offensive line. Really just doing whatever his team needs him to do. Remember, he had to leave the pitch for a while after getting injured on a run that resulted in the first down, but he's now back in the offensive line. Solent, almost a fumbled snap. Leicester gets hit, fumbled, and I think it's recovered by Sussex. It's another turnover. Another turnover. Paramedic is called again. Ben Leicester, unfortunately on the floor, he took a really big hit then. Lost the ball, recovered I think by Sussex. He's moving, Ben Lester, so fingers crossed. As always, with anyone who ever has to receive medical attention, that is nothing serious, and that he will be fit and healthy in a very, very short time. Yeah. There aren't very many seconds left on the clock. The cheerleaders are preparing over to my left for an end of game performance.
That's the right mentality in the wrong location. Make sure it's in the bedroom next time.
So as both teams take a knee on the field as Leicester continues to receive medical attention. The sun has started to set now as slate grey sky hangs over the field. Ben Lester up on his feet and walking off the field. I would not be surprised if his game has been run. He's done his best. Unfortunately, just wasn't to be today. And so, Sussex with the ball. Very close to the end of the game. They try and go for it. Incomplete. Trying to find the receiver on the far right side on the flat route. Does not find him. Was nowhere near in truth. Wasn't. However, he was lucky enough that his power was enough that he missed the linebacker, but not so much that the cornerback could reach it. It's just those little moments that dictate games, and unfortunately today they have gone the way of Sussex. So second down and 10 on the 35. It's another running play. Stopped by after a couple of yards. So Solent gear up again. The clock is ticking ever so slowly towards that final whistle, which most people here are waiting for now. Sussex would like to start celebrating. And so, seconds left to go in this game. Solent 0, Sussex 29 as the final couple of plays look to be played. Solent have just, the coaches have gone around asking who to go on, telling who to go on to do for the final play. As much as the scoreline reads as if it was a domination, it is harsh on Solent. In the first half it was so close for so long that the defence were doing so well. The offence was starting to make real strides, but the ejection of Adesanya disrupted the flow, the momentum of Solent, and they never really recovered. And that is that. That's full time. The full time score here. Solent Redhawks 0, the Sussex Saxons 29 here at Test Park. But as I say, the scoreline reads slightly differently to how the game was played. It was in a matter of moments, of minutes even, in the second half, where a huge touchdown run by Sussex proved enough to stretch out their lead before a pick six followed very, very soon after, and finally a touchdown run right at the end of the game to put the icing on the cake for Sussex. As the players line up to shake one another, I will leave you here now, here at Test Park. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you will join us again for the rest of Solent Redhawks home games. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you soon.